And look at this sculpture here. Oh, look at this. This is a book sculpture. We change the world one act of kindness at a time. Here I am in a little town in Oregon called Grande. If you watched my last video, I was in Twin Falls, watched a whole bunch of people paragliding and jumping off the bridge.
Back on the top, Chad.
And there he goes. He was yelling all the way down. That is so awesome. That was a lot of fun, but I decided to get on the road and I drove over to Boise. I've really needed to continue to test out the fix to the transmission, and so far everything's been normal. Okay, it is time to get to Boise. So I'm in this parking lot. I've parked here many times. In this RV, in my last one, I often go to that Starbucks right there and work. So the Prime Bridge is just over there. All the base jumpers are just right over there. It's a little bit breezier than I had hoped, but tomorrow it's supposed to be really a lot windier. So I'm just gonna deal with it. So time to get going to Boise. So I go to that Starbucks an awful lot. There's a new Starbucks in town. I was driving by and saw it near the Walmart, but I haven't gone to that one yet. It'll be interesting to see any base jumpers. I haven't gone over and looked today. Ah, the Prime Bridge. Just looked over and didn't see any people looking like they were preparing to jump. And somebody was telling me right over here, there's supposed to be a bunch of BLM camping land. I think they said you turn at this road up here, and then there's just a bunch of BLM land. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, dang. Ah. Gosh dang it. Got just gravel and dirt dumped all over me. Farmland, farmland, farmland. So I always like to stop at this rest area just outside of Boise. Every time I come here, I like to stop at it. I've got to get directions and figure out exactly which of my parking spaces I want to go to. So I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of stop. Just double check that. So you can see it's windy. Look at the trees. I've been driving right into this headwind the entire time. God, it's tanked my gas mileage, and the engine is really working hard, so it's running warm. Just look at that. I'm inside. It's nice and cool in here. It says you are here right there. So here's a map. We're right there. So I was driving down this way, and the wind, it just flows through this valley. So the interesting thing about this, if you look down here, there's this big farming valley right here. And Yellowstone is right over here. This part of the crust of Idaho has moved over the hot spot that produces Yellowstone, and it is what has produced this, because it would move over that hot spot, it would explode and explode. It's just created this crescent shape in southern Utah, or in southern Idaho, and so all the wind loves to just blow in that region. Look at how windy it is. It's windy. Okay, here we go. Driving right into the wind. So I'm going to go to my favorite spot. But there is another spot that I also really want to check out. The spot's open. Just this little semi-secluded spot right here. So I like it because it's just sort of secluded. There's a big box motel right there. Some sort of office building here that's always quiet. There's a little grassy knoll. When I walk over into there, you really don't see the RV. It's funny, when I sit here and look at the RV, I just love how transformed it looks. It doesn't look nearly as old, it doesn't look like a 1990 anymore, 91. Getting rid of those awful decals has made such a difference. Fairly easy to be in Boise, but I've just kind of wanted to get on the road. It's hot here in the West. There's a high pressure system causing crazy temperatures everywhere. And Grande is up a little bit elevated, so it's been manageable here. So, you know, I just spent a few days there in Boise, but it was going to start getting really warm there, like above 100. So I decided to get on the road. And, you know, honestly, it's hot everywhere in the West right now. And I also, you know, like I said, I wanted to test out the transmission. So I got on the road and decided to come up here. You know, I was vacillating whether I wanted to go over to the Oregon coast or not. And I was just hemming and hawing about that. And I just decided to come up here to Grande. Okay, on the road. So I have been debating in my mind, like serious debating. I have two directions that I could go right now. One is a bit of a known and the other is a bit of an unknown. I could go over to the Oregon coast. I've been there before. My plan is to go to Crescent City. I've got a good parking space there. And then just work my way up to the Oregon coast. And then go inland and spend some time in one of the smaller cities like Corvallis. But I haven't been to those, so I don't know. I need to find a place there. The other possibility is that I could go up into...
Lights. Use the right lane to merge onto I-84 west towards Nampa.
I could go up into Idaho. Explore some parts of Idaho that I haven't been to before. The challenge there is like, so there's a town called McCall that I've never been to. It's basically due north of Boise. I've been looking on Google Maps and I haven't been able to find like an overnight parking space there. But that would be the easy thing to do. And from there I could work my way north to Lewiston, to some other areas. The benefit of going to the Oregon coast is that we're heading into a heat wave in the Intermountain West. And the Oregon coast is basically going to be the only place that's going to be spared the brutality of it. The downside is
53 miles. Continue straight on.
the downside is it's a pretty hefty drive out there. And I'm going to have to drive for 2 days through that heat. So Grande would give me a really good test of the transmission. A year ago, I tried to come up here and I started having those weird issues, the hiccup issues. But fortunately, all the way up here, it was totally normal. So I'm pretty sure that the transmission or the RV mechanic place that I went to in Twin Falls has solved my problem. So I'm continuing to, you know, cross my fingers on that. On my way up here, I stopped in a little town called Baker City. Idaho has a lot of really pretty just rural farming lands. River, river. Oh, I love this overpass. Oregon. I don't know what lake or river this is. There it is. Baker City 8. Grande 52. That's where I'm staying tonight, Grande. Baker City Motel. Trail Restaurant. Oregon Trail Motel. And then right down here, there's this odd like mini skyscraper building. And then we're going right into the old downtown area, city center. So there is like a cool town hall over there, and then this odd kind of Art Deco-ish looking building. And now We are right down here, this old downtown area. I parked right down that street, my last RV. And there's this really well-known old hotel coming off to the right. The Geyser Grande. So I'm in this little town called Baker City. I've just pulled off to the side of the road here. So Baker City, established 1874. Look at this fudge. A lot of the old buildings are here in this downtown area. So you can see all these vintage buildings. If I remember correctly, this was supposed to be, Baker City was supposed to be like the big city in Oregon when it was established. Look at these sculptures. But, you know, as things change. Yeah, look at these vintage buildings. Yay, 4th of July. And then right here is the Geyser Grande. This was a hotel that was built here when this was this thriving old downtown, you know, from the 1800s, and it survives to this day. Howdy.
How are you?
Good. So cool. Oh, and look at this. 1870s wagon. This wagon came west in 1878. It belonged to the Champagne mine near Arco. In 1970, it was acquired by Les Brody, whose ranch was just north of Craters of the Moon. Les crossed the Oregon Trail with it in 1976 and again in 1996, then sold to Tony Clapier in 97. It was built by the Weber Wagon Company, which later became International Harvester. This is such a great stretch. Looks like some of the buildings have been taken down over the years and sort of awful modern looking buildings were put up, but there's still some great hints of what this town used to be like back when it was in the day. Love these sculptures. I love seeing the old lettering on these buildings. The crazy thing to me is you have all these beautiful buildings, and at some point in the past they tore down one of them and put up that flat monstrosity there. That's hilarious to me. Baker City, Oregon. This was originally supposed to be the major city in Oregon. Just sort of fizzled out, didn't become that. So, time to get going. Well, that was fascinating, going and touring that old hotel, vintage hotel. Okay, here we go. Okay, 42 miles, and then I'm where I'm gonna spend the night.
In a half mile, take exit 261 for Oregon 82 toward the Grande City Center. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Oregon 82 West Island Avenue. Turn left onto Oregon 82 West Island Avenue.
Okay, here we are.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North Albany Street. Turn left onto North Albany Street.
North Albany Street. Oh, there's a Big Five Sporting Goods here. It's probably a small one, but hey, I always get my shoes there because they're pretty.
In 600 feet, turn left onto East Q Avenue.
I'm going to the same place that I parked in my last RV. God, there's an RV there, of course. Looks like kind of a junker too. But I got some shade, so that's good. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a video showing my travel from Twin Falls to Boise to Baker City and then here in Grande, Oregon. So, thanks for watching.